Welcome back to the next section of Traefik Training. In this section, we're going to recap everything we learned about configuring Traefik. And configuring Traefik is the basis for everything we're going to do going forward. So the static configuration, enabling the logging or debug or changing to provider details is all in the static configuration. Where the dynamic configuration, we're going to continue building on that in the next sections by enabling routers and middlewares and further defining services with dynamic configurations. So what did we learn in configuring Traefik? Configuring static configurations, as I mentioned, is the basis for the Traefik configuration. So if we want to make any changes to Traefik itself, it is done in the static configuration. We also learned about providers, exactly how to configure the provider, enabling the provider. In this case, we enabled the Docker provider. And we also enabled some entry points, if you remember web and web secure, so port 80 and 443. This also enabled us to attach a new service to the entry point and be able to configure exactly what service talks to which entry point. And finally, we briefly touched on dynamic configuration. And dynamic configuration is going to be enabling routers, middlewares, and services in the future sections. So in the next chapter, we're actually going to learn all about how to enable routers using labels and middlewares and services. So we're going to start discovering this a bit more and diving deeper into dynamic configuration. So dynamic configuration is only going to keep on growing from here on out. And as you remember, dynamic configuration is all done through labels, and we're going to keep on adding labels to our services to enable all these features. So join me in the next section as we discover load balancing and routers.